Our top story about that major terror bid that was successfully foiled by the Indian Army. Terrorists attacked the army camp in Jammu and Kashmir's Handwara. 3 terrorists, in fact, were eliminated after they opened fire at the 30 Rashtriya Rifles Army camp in North Kashmir's Handwara town. After the terrorists attacked the army camp, quick action teams retaliated, engaging the terrorists in an apple orchard. And after exchanging fire for more than 2 hours, the terror squad dressed in army fatigues were eliminated by the security forces. This is now the 3rd major terror attack on the Indian Army in a month. Well, there has been an increase in cross-border infiltration post the surgical strikes that was mounted successfully by the Indian Army across the line of control. Executive Editor Gaurav Sawant just gives us a brief of the number of attacks that the country has witnessed post those surgical strikes.
Pakistan-sponsored terror attacks continue unrelenting in Jammu and Kashmir, and especially in North Kashmir after the Uri terror attacks. Let's take a look. So you had the Uri terror attack. Terrorists crossed the line of control. They attacked an army administrative base, the Adam base. They set on fire the fuel dump, fired through the night. Now, unfortunately, we had 19 casualties. But after that, terrorists struck at Baramulla. The army was alert. In the middle of the night, when the terrorists fired, the army fired back. The terrorists melted away. But early this morning, at Handwara, at the 30th Battalion of the Rashtriya Rifles, once again, terrorists struck. 3 to 4 terrorists, but the sentry was alert. The quick reaction team was already in place. So as soon as the sentry fired back, the terrorists tried to escape. They ran into an apple orchard, and that is where the quick reaction team surrounded the terrorists and killed them. But if you notice, this is the line of control, 776 kilometers long. This is where the Haji Pir passes. This is where perhaps the terrorists infiltrate. Uri, Baramulla, Handwara, North Kashmir is their focus. But even south of Pir Panjal in Poonch, terrorists have been trying to target the security forces, and some of them trying to make their way in deeper into South Kashmir. So they're clearly at this point of time with more than 100 terrorists waiting to cross from the other side of the line of control to this side. That is what the National Security Advisor Ajit Doval is understood to have told Prime Minister Narendra Modi at the Cabinet Committee of Security meeting. So there is clear and present danger.
Okay, moving on now. Pakistan has been exposed yet again, with India tracing evidence against Pakistan for its role behind another terror strike that hit Jammu and Kashmir's Handwara early this morning. The Indian Army has confirmed that the 3 terrorists who were gunned down during the operation this morning do belong to Pakistan. Food items, medicines that were recovered from them also have Pakistan markings. The officials have also recovered 3 AK-47 satellite phones and GPS from the slain terrorists. The attackers were allegedly clothed in army fatigue, and they fled the spot after their foiled infiltration attempt. Meanwhile, the combing operation, however, still continues.
A terror bid foiled by the Indian Army, and right now on display here is the items that have been recovered by the 3 terrorists, those who have been gunned down by our security forces. The entire bid of the terrorists was to storm the camp. They are believed to be Pakistanis, Fidayeen, those who had come across the border, and you can see the recoveries that have been made. Let me just take you through from step by step what we have here. These are the gloves that have been recovered from those 3 slain terrorists. There are ropes here, dry fruits, usual material that these terrorists carry with them, instant energy, biscuits, dry fruits. You can see some almonds here, along with some other dry fruits and biscuits. There are knives, scissors, and on the other side you can see these things, the marking on these items, that you can see some shaving blades and along with some medical equipment. These are some of the syringes, injections that are visible here that the terrorists were carrying. These are some batteries, very important aspect as far as making IEDs and other things are concerned. Let me also very quickly show you how Pakistan has been exposed in this. These markings are of Pakistan. Let me just quickly show you this. This is of General Farm Road, 3 kilometer GT Road, trains. This is from Gujranwala, Pakistan. You can see here, Gujranwala, Pakistan is what is written on these crepe bandages. So these are, of course, of Pakistan marking, along with these medicines. These are the mobile phones that these terrorists were carrying, and you can see the communication equipment that they were carrying: walkie-talkies, mobile phones, along with these jackets, these utility jackets that the terrorists were wearing. There are these GPS sets along with the walkie-talkies. These maps have been recovered by the security forces from these terrorists. Along with that, you can also on the other side see, the diaries and other equipment that have been things that have been written in Urdu, some coded language here of possibly the terror, the markings and the target that they were given. Apart from that, some Indian currency has been recovered, and very important to see those AK-47s, the assault rifles, 2 of them with the under barrel grenade launchers. These are modified rifles that are there, plus these you can see these bullets that have been found, the cartridges, the magazines there. You can see some bullet holes. They of course must have been ensued when these terrorists were gunned down. All this have been recovered from the terrorists. I can also show you these things, these medicines that have been recovered. Most of them have in fact Pakistani marking, and apart from these things that you see, in fact the shaving blade and other batteries and all very clearly marked from Pakistan. These are Chinese batteries, other pouches and equipment. So very clear indication that these terrorists were from across the border. What sources are telling us, these were 3 fidains from across the border, Pakistani fidains. Their main aim was to try and enter the army camp like they did in Uri and inflict maximum damage. Security forces on the alert thwarted this attack and killed 3 of these terrorists. Ankit Tyagi in Langot, India Today.
Our quick reaction team was activated. They localized the area where the terrorist was spotted, and after that we carried out sanitization of that localized area, in which 3 Pakistani terrorists were eliminated. These terrorists were carrying huge quantity of arms, ammunition and other warlike stores.
Okay, let's go straight now to Ashraf for more on this. Ashraf, this is a major infiltration bid that has been successfully foiled by the Indian Army. Now tell me, you have seen so many terror attacks in your years of reporting in the area. What is it that you make from the kind of recovery that has been made by the Indian Army?
Yes, absolutely. The recoveries which had been made by these killed militants clearly indicate that this group has recently infiltrated into Jammu and Kashmir state, probably maybe during the last 36 hours, because the whole weaponry, the dress, the items they were carrying, including the food, was just what they had brought from Pakistani side. So that was with them settled, and that clearly indicates that this infiltration bid has been made within the 48 hours or maybe some hours more. And also after the Uri terror attack, probably maybe after the surgical strikes by the Indian Army in Pakistani occupied Kashmir. Basically, you can see just a few days back, the Lashkar chief himself said that we are going to target Indian Army in Jammu and Kashmir state, and probably this group might have left from Pakistan or from Lashkar base after that date. But now big major success for the Indian Army. Basically, they have not allowed this group to enter inside the army camp and neutralize.
Stay with me. We also have with us retired Major General G.D. Bakshi joining us on the phone line. Sir, thank you so much for speaking to us. Good afternoon. Now, this kind of retaliation was expected. We've seen the kind of spurt in cross-border infiltration in the last few weeks, specifically post the surgical strikes. What do you make of the recent infiltration bid that has been foiled by the Indian Army? They seem to be following a similar pattern and also following the same kind of modus operandi to come dressed in army fatigues and, mount heavy casualties on the security forces?
My reading is that there have been 2 attempts that the Pakistani militants, the jihadis, have made after our surgical strike to try and get even, to try and, inflict some casualties on the Indian army as so-called revenge. Both have been damn squibs. In the first one at Baramulla, they just tried a standoff fire and they ran like hell after opening fire, and, that was a very damn squib of an operation if it was supposed to be a massive retribution which Hafiz Saeed was threatening us with, that मैं Indian media को बताऊंगा surgical strike क्या होती है. If that was his reaction, it was a damn squib. Today it has been worse. We are noticing a drop in the quality of the terrorists that they have inducted in terms of training, in terms of willingness to close in. And what you are certainly noticing, please understand, the rise in the morale of the Indian armed forces and the security forces who have been now freed from their defensive defense straitjacket. If you are confined to defensive defense reactive stance forever and ever, it is demoralizing for the troops.
But they haven't seemed to have backed off, General. In fact, on the contrary, they're heading back with vengeance.
Sorry?
I'm saying that, they haven't seemed to have backed off despite the might that has been executed by the Indian army. They seem to be hitting back with vengeance by unleashing these terrorists.
Me, do you expect that just with one, counter strike, you will break their morale forever and ever? Let's not be infantile. The fact of the matter is you may have to do it 10 times again. What has happened is that the LOC is no longer the barrier, the line of control. We should make it very clear to Pakistan, you try any major terrorist strike again, you will get it right back. We reserve the right to react at a time and place of our own choosing.
Right.
And let's see how far you want to take it.
Right, sir.
Please understand that.
Absolutely.
People think that you've not fired an atom bomb on Pakistan. It is a limited raid. It is a tactical operation. So that was meant as a shot across the bow. It was a warning to Pakistan, thus far and no further. If you persist, you will get more of the same. And if you persist, then it will intensify and escalate horizontally and vertically.
And
are you prepared to go to war?
One quick question. What do you make of the kind of rhetoric that we're hearing from the Pakistan Army Chief, General Raheel Sharif, who has once again vowed, in fact, that the Pakistan Army will give a befitting response to Indian Army?
Well, let's see what response, and then he will go up the escalation ladder. The choice is his. They must understand that if they go to a full-scale, if they provoke India into a full-scale war, their economy will be destroyed.
Yes, sir.
And if they are hoping for support from China, the Chinese do not want the tail to wag the dog. Please understand what I'm saying. They've got their hands full with South China Sea. They do not want to be dragged in a conflict in a different direction, which they may not want right now.
Right.
May not want right now.
Absolutely. Major General G.D. Bakshi, thank you so much for your time. Ashraf, just coming back to you for a quick question. Are the combing operations still continuing? Because we do know that 3 militants have been shot dead. But what about the, the news about the combing operations still happening?
Avantika, these operations are going on since the Uri terror attack. We have seen the army grid intensified on the line of control and in the areas near the line of control. There were these assumptions that probably after this surgical strike in Pakistani occupied Kashmir, these kind of infiltration bids will be attempted, and army was fully geared to file them. But one of the things just I got from you, you were taking to Major General, what the Pakistani army chief has said. There is firing going on in Punch, what my sources said here, and that is a kind of a firing in which our Pakistani army is involved, and they are directly targeting the Indian army posts. It is the news which just I am breaking here on India Today network, that heavy exchange of fire on LOC by Pakistani army towards the Indian army positions. Probably there are some injuries to the Indian soldiers that is not yet confirmed by the army, but probably within some minutes or within some hours that picture will get clear. But one thing is sure, that the line of control is very much tense. There are ongoing ceasefire violations from the Pakistan, and
Yes.
now they have started with the infiltration. They have started to target the Indian positions and Indian posts on the line of control in Poonch sector of Jammu and Kashmir.
Absolutely, Ashraf. We will come back to you and we will continue to get you the very latest updates on that major infiltration bid that has been successfully foiled in Handwara, in which 3 terrorists have been killed. Major combing operations also continuing, with the Indian army being on an alert, on a very high alert, in fact. We'll have to take a very short break right here, but we'll stay with this news once we come back. Stay tuned.